You've never once said no to someone you love, and it's quietly destroying you. There are people who say yes when every cell in their body is screaming no. They pick up the phone at midnight. They show up when they're exhausted. They take on one more thing, and then one more after that. Not because they want to, but because the idea of someone being disappointed in them feels almost unbearable. They'd rather betray themselves than risk losing someone's approval. This didn't start yesterday. For most people who can't say no, it started in childhood. Maybe love in their home came with conditions. Maybe being helpful meant being safe. Maybe whenever they expressed a real need, the room got cold. So they learned early that keeping the peace was more important than telling the truth. They learned to make themselves small, and they got so good at it they forgot they were doing it. People-pleasing isn't kindness, it's a survival strategy that outlived the danger. So now, as adults, they say yes to plans they don't want to go to. They take on work that isn't theirs. They listen to problems for hours without ever mentioning their own. And the whole time there's this quiet ache, this feeling that no one actually knows who they are because they've never let anyone see them say no. The cruelest part? They don't even feel resentment at first. They feel proud, because helping feels like love, and love is the one thing they've been chasing their whole life. But there's a difference between giving freely and giving to be accepted. One fills you, the other drains you dry. Watch what happens inside them when they almost say no. The pause, the mental spiral. What will they think of me? Will they be upset? What if they need me and I wasn't there? So they say yes, and the moment they do, the anxiety disappears, just like that. Because agreement feels like safety, it always has. What they don't realize is they just taught someone again that their time has no boundary, their energy has no limit, their feelings have no weight. Every yes that comes from fear is a slow vote against yourself. And over time, the exhaustion becomes invisible, even to them. They start calling it just the way I am. They say things like, I just like helping people. But late at night, they lie awake feeling hollow. Not because the people in their life are bad, but because they've been playing a character, the reliable one, the selfless one. For so long, they've lost track of the person underneath. They want so desperately to be chosen, but they don't realize you can't be truly chosen if no one knows your real self. You're not being loved, you're being used comfortably and calling it connection. Here's what no one tells you about saying no. The people who leave when you set a limit, they weren't loving you. They were loving your compliance. And the people who stay, those are the ones worth everything. Saying no is not cruelty, it's not selfishness, it's honesty. And real relationships, the ones that actually hold you, are built on honesty, not performance. You don't need to earn your place in people's lives. You are always allowed to take up space. The most radical thing some people can do is simply say, no, not this time, and mean it, without explaining, without apologizing, without shrinking.